Christian Ballard of Ballard Sports Media. It is time to preview the college football playoff semifinals. We start with the Rose Bowl, which will be the first one played on New Year's Day. Not the first game. We'll have plenty of those early on in the day, such as the Citrus Bowl and all that. But you will have this being the first of two semifinals this year for the CFP in 2023-2024. And we look at the Michigan Wolverines undefeated 13-0 against the 12-1 Alabama Crimson Tide. This game being played New Year's Day, 5 p.m. Eastern in Pasadena, California. It should be 2 o'clock in California when this game kicks off, 4 o'clock for myself here in Alabama. I plan on going live for both semifinals. I will not be working, at least as of the moment, for New Year's Day. But we look forward to these games. Michigan number 1, Alabama number 4. Let's get after it. Alabama comes in 12-1, Michigan 13-0. What's the line on the game? It's actually pretty darn close. 1.5 points in favor of the Michigan Wolverines. And I look at this game and I say, okay, it's pretty close. They love Michigan, but they don't love them a whole lot. I don't blame them as an Alabama guy for favoring Michigan. Number 1 team in the nation, in the CFP, undefeated, three-peating as Big Ten East champs, Big Ten champs, third straight playoff appearance. The only thing about Michigan to me is I don't trust Harbaugh and Michigan in a playoff game until I see them win it. I'm not saying yet who I'm picking, which, by the way, you guys know I'm an Alabama guy. Why would I pick against Alabama, right? Well, maybe I do that in this video. I probably don't. But there's a really good chance that Michigan can win this game. You know, Michigan has been good all year long. Blake Corum leads the team in rushing, 218 carries, over 1,000 yards, 24 touchdowns on the ground. J.J. McCarthy has looked spotless. Only 4 picks on the year, 19 touchdowns, 2,600-plus yards, 213 of 287. Compare that to Jalen Milroe of Alabama, 171, 261, 2,718 yards, 23 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. So Milroe, if anything, he leads J.J. McCarthy in. He is more mobile and a running threat than J.J. is, even though J.J. is pretty good at that too. But also, he has just a little bit more yards. He leads by 4 more touchdowns. But the red flag here, I say, is he has thrown more interceptions. He's thrown 6. JJ's thrown 4. Let me go ahead and share screen what ESPN has put out on this game here. January 1st, 2024 is the date of this semifinal. It's also the date of Texas-Washington. Again, we'll look at that in a later video. Michigan, they have basically a 56% chance to win the game. It favors Michigan by 1.5 points. Some fun facts, by the way. Number 1 seeds in the semifinals are 6-4 in semifinals in the 10 years of the playoff. The last 4 seed to win it, though, was Alabama, and that was the last time they were a number 4 seed in 2017-2018. Remember, 2nd and 26 that year. That's the last time a 4 seed made it past the college football playoff semifinal was 2017. That's just a fun fact I throw out there. And to go ahead and get into a little bit of Texas and Washington, the number 3 seed has made the college football playoff title game 4 times, but is 1-3 in the national title game as a 3 seed. And the only team to win as a 3 seed, looking at you, Texas, we'll see if they do it. We'll see if they pull it off. It'd be a miracle. 1-3 in title games. Number 3 is, and the only team to do it was 2021 UGA. Don't forget, by the way, please hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. I really would appreciate it. Helps the channel out, all that good stuff. Let's get back to the game here. Michigan and Alabama on New Year's Day, 5 p.m. Eastern. Going to be about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in California time when they get this game going. The quarterback matchup is Jalen Milroe and J.J. McCarthy. How do you compare these guys? Well, both are really mobile. Both are really, really good. I trust Jalen Milroe more with the ball if you're going to run it. I trust J.J. McCarthy and his great arm talent. I trust him a little bit more to throw the ball, honestly. Not to knock on these quarterbacks. Both of them do everything extremely well. But that's just it's kind of one of those, you have a mobile guy in Milroe and you have a throwing type pro style in J.J. McCarthy, but both of them can pretty much do it all if you need them to. Jace McClellan, the lead rusher for Alabama, what's he done? 166 carries, 803 yards, and 6 touchdowns, according to ESPN. On ESPN as well, Blake Corum does lead the team in rushing, 218 on the ground, over 1,000 yards, 24 touchdowns. Let's go. I love Blake Corum. I think he's doing great. Roman Wilson is Michigan's lead receiver at 662 yards, 41 receptions, 11 of those being touchdown passes or catches in his book. Jermaine Burton leads the Tide at 777 yards, 8 touchdowns off 35 receptions. You can obviously see that there's a big difference. The only thing that they have an upper hand in offensively is Jalen Milroe has more touchdowns than McCarthy and more yardage in passing than McCarthy. Jalen Milroe can run the ball. J.J. McCarthy, he can do the same. But don't get carried away with it. Let's give the props to Michigan. They are 13-0. Third straight year as Big Ten champs. Third straight year beating Ohio State. Third straight year in the playoff. Can they get it done? I think the big question is, do we trust Jim Harbaugh? I don't. But at the same time, do I trust Alabama to win this game? I'm going to pick Alabama to win. Go ahead and tell you. I do think it's going to be a close game. I think it's not a huge shootout, but it's not low scoring either. I think there's going to be some firepower on offense. I think you're going to have some great guys on defense too. I mean, you're going to have Caleb Downs and Terrion Arnold trying to take care of Michigan's receivers like a Roman Wilson. I look at, Michigan's defense. They got to take care of Jermaine Burton and what he can do. Take away the passing game from Alabama. Do what you can do. Michigan has guys on defense to get the job done. They have some guys on defense, like I just said, that can get the job done. And when you do talk about their defense for Michigan, I look at the linebackers, kind of a trio of guys, but really it kind of comes down to, if you want to talk about getting pressure, we'll get back to the secondary in a second, but I look at trying to get pressure on Jalen Milroe. That's going to be key. If you could take away Jalen Milroe, you have this game in hand. Jalen Harrell is a defensive end, edge rusher guy. He's got 6.5 sacks on the year. For 31 yards. Go back to Harrell by 79. has no sacks. Interesting there, right? The Michigan defense has been really, really good. And we talk about it like we talk so much about how explosive Michigan is offensively. Are they explosive on defense? What I mean by explosive on defense is can they move around? Can they defend the passing game? Can they take away the run game? Can they do it consistently and play physical and aggressive? They can, but I don't think it's enough. I really don't. I do trust Alabama a little bit more than Michigan in this game. And I do think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be a great game. I look at Alabama. I look at that defense. I talk about Dallas Turner. I think he can get through the Michigan offensive line if he can. I don't know. I think if he could get through, Malachi Moore, is he going to be good to go around the Arkansas game? But he's slowly come back, and he's looked pretty good. He hasn't been the key guy this year, though, even as a senior. He's still a good leader, but I don't think that he's that big explosive guy. But he'll be ready to go, pending something doesn't happen in practice. He should be ready to go for this playoff game. So, but I look at Malachi Moore too. I look at him and I look at what he can do. He can be a leader for the secondary. He plays a little bit at linebacker, plays a lot of safety or corner. I look at Jalen Key, transfer from UAB, has been pretty good. But honestly, it's Malachi Moore and Caleb Downs to lead the secondary. It's Dallas Turner up front and guys like that on the interior line, the outside linebacker position, Chris Braswell. I look at guys like that, and I say they got to get pressure on J.J. McCarthy. They got to take away the run game with Blake Corum. They got to take away the passing game with J.J. McCarthy. If they can do that, they have a chance to win this game. I think they'll do it a little bit, but I don't think it'll be enough. Enough to cause a blowout or anything. Again, I'm going to go ahead and say I think both of these semifinals could be two of the closest ones we get, but we'll have to wait and see. So I look at this one. I'm going to go ahead and give a score prediction here. I am ready to predict the Rose Bowl semifinal with Alabama number 4, Michigan number 1. The line favors, again, Michigan by 1.5 points, 1.5 however you want to say it. It's not covered. And Michigan does not win. I'm rolling with the Tide. I got to go with my guy, Jalen Milroe. I got to give him props and put him on this pedestal just a little bit. I think Alabama's set out on a mission this year in 2023 to try to, lank, L-A-N-K, let all naysayers know. There's been a lot of naysayers. This team just beat the back-to-back national champs in Georgia. I know you're going to say, well, they barely did it. They won by 3. But you took down the Giant. You took them out. Right now, the Giants, Michigan. What would you say would happen right now if you put Michigan and Georgia on a football field? I think Georgia would win. They proved that a couple years back. Their first go-around with the CFP. Why would you pick Michigan in this game? I'm not saying they can't do it. I'm just saying they won't do it. Alabama wins this game. Not going to say big. It will be close. I'm going to say by a point. I think there's a point difference, and I think the defense comes strong in the end. I think the defense comes up big in the end. I'm going to say 31-30. Close game there. Close game there at the Rose Bowl semifinal. Late stop by Alabama. I don't know how. Maybe a sack, maybe an incompletion. Then they take a knee. They get out of there. They're going to the national championship in, where is it? Houston? I think it's in Houston. So we'll see. We'll see. Uh, it'll be fun. It'll be a good game. Wouldn't it surprise me if Michigan won the game, by the way? Would not surprise me one bit. I just am just a big believer in this year's Alabama team right now. That there's no reason not to pick them until I see a reason not to pick them. They look pretty good in the SEC title. I know it was close. They struggled in the Iron Bowl, but they pulled off. They had the Gravedigger play. How do you have that and say, well, this is too much to handle? Come on. 4th and goal from the 31. Bro, get out. Anyway, that's going to do it for this one. I am picking Alabama to win 31-30 over Michigan. It's going to be a great game. Hope you can make it. We'll try to go live for these games and get some watch hours and everything. I love you guys. Jesus loves you. Thanks again for 4 years on here. I know it's a long time coming, and it's been a heck of a ride. We're going to keep it going here at Ballard Sports Media. I love you guys. God bless. And from an Alabama fan, roll Tide. Love you guys. Ballard Sports Media, checking out. Love y'all. Peace.